All right, to the year 2021, Tennessee Code, Title 60, Oil and Gas, Chapter 1, Production Oil and Gas, Part 2, General Provisions of the Board. 6201, Reserved. The Board has jurisdiction authority over all persons of the property necessary within the fourth chapter to make sure that the inquiry with the necessary to determine whether the waste exists, whether or not waste exists or imminent with the collective have the make investigation, inspection, examine the property, lease for the paper, the books, for the records, include the dwelling records and law, with the examine the check for the test for the gates, oil wells, the gas tanks, refineries, mode with the transportation, hold with the hearings, provide for the keeping of the records, making of the report, take such action as necessary with enforce chapter 2 before, make for the rules, regulation, orders of the following purpose: to require the drilling, casing of the plugging of the wells in such a manner to prevent escaping the oil of the gas out of the water of the tribe, and to prevent the intrusion of water to the oil and the gas tribe, to prevent the pollution of the fresh water by oil and gas, salt water, or to protect potentially mineable coal for the other minerals, and require that the bottom of the plugging each of the dry and abandoned well that be required that the notification supervisor of such form supervisor may prescribe and to drill any well in oil gas. See with the required with the filling and log for the electrical, including electrical, all drilling records, core of the drilling, cutting sample, all of the downhole surveys, information within 30 days following the cessation of the drilling operations of the well. D, to prevent the wells being drilled, the operator to produce in such a manner to cause the injury to the neighboring lease of the property. E, to prevent the drowning of the water, oil, gas travel, the paying quantity, to prevent premature irregular encroachment of the water would affect the total ultimate recovery of the oil and gas. F, require the operation of oil with the efficient oil, gas oil ratio with the fixed stress ratios. G, prevent blowouts, caving, and seepage of the same sense of the condition indicating such term with the generally understood of the oil and gas business. H, to prevent fires. I, to identify ownership of the oil, gas produced and leased of the refinery, tanks, plant structures, and all storage, transportation equipment and facilities to be able to regulate shooting of the chemical treatment of the well, with the K, with the direct regulate secondary recovery method, L, to regulate with the spacing of the wells, M, to provide with the force integration with the integration of separately owned tracts with the other property ownership of the drilling and the producing units, N, to provide the board with the absence of the voluntary agreement of 60-day notice the owners of the force of the volumetric surface pool wide unit, provide with the pool producers owning more than 50% of the pool acreage required for the utilization of the pool. O, absent of the acceptable plan with utilization by the operative of the board may show up the pool to prevent with the waste of the protective core relative of the rights until the exception plan is presumed by the operators. P, to regulate with the prescribed the procedures recept the application to determine whether the natural gas produced with the well qualifies requested status of the statutes status of 102, 103, 107, and 108 of the Natural Gas Law Act of the 1978, Public Law 95-621, 92 Statute 3350, including any act of Congress which amends or supersedes those sections of this act. Q, require that any person conducting oil, gas, causing surface disturbance and preparatory of the two and any incidental stuff of the operation conducts the operation in a manner to prevent, mitigate the adverse environmental impacts such as soil erosion, water pollution, form reclamation of all the areas disturbed by the operation, including access roads prescribed in Part 7 of this chapter, are to require any person for conducting a oil gas operation or causing surface disturbance of the preparatory of the or incidental stuff of the operation for wells permitted with the drill after July 1st, 1987, and posted with the bond secured with the compliant with the requirements of the chapter of the rules promulgated under chapter both of the plugging the wells reclamation of the surface in the amount of not to exceed $15,000 in a short single well site with more than one well with the portion of the bond secured with the compliance with the plugging the requirements shall not exceed the $10,000 per well. Bond shall be filled with the supervisor at the time the operative permit application is submitted. They shall effect at the time of the initial surface disturbance begin with the alternative performance bonds required with the subdivision A4R of the person may submit the one federally insured certificate of deposit issued with the financial institution in the state to be placed in a separate departmental account that shall not revert to the general fund. 2, the irrevocable letter of credit issued by any federal insured bank of the state with the loan association. 3, others gas security for the amount mutually agreed upon by supervisor for the operator to be placed in a separate departmental account that shall not revert with the general fund. B, the applicant, any of the person must swear to the facts of an application to permit the drill and the deepening of the well, reopening a plug and abandoned well under the rules made by the board pursuant to this title. Alright, that was part 2201. Make sure we're taping. 203, quorum over the board. Any 3 members of the board shall count for the quorum of the 3 months with but 3 affirmative votes shall be necessary for the adoption of any rule order of the board. Rules, regulation, orders of the board. Board shall prescribe the rules of the procedure for the hearing of the procedure for the before under this chapter. B. No rule order after the emergency may be with the board, except for the public hearing upon with at least 10 days with the notice for the ban of the prescribed with the board. Such public hearing shall be held, except for the time play for the ban of the prescribed by the board. Any person having the interest in the subject of the matter of the hearing should be entitled to be heard. C. If the emergency period of the board exists within many of the act without public hearing of the rule regulation or the shall be valid, if the emergency rule regulation remaining in the force no longer than 15 days after the effective date in any event, but they shall expire with the rule regulation matter made after due the notice hearing shall be become effective. D. With all rules regulation by the board shall be entered with the writing and supervisor in the booklet kept from such purpose shall be in public record or open to the inspection. Copies of the rules regulations certified by the supervisor shall receive the evidence with all the court and state with the same effect as the original. And that was 204 rules regulation orders of the board. 205. Powers of the subpoena and swear witnesses. A. The board or any member of the empowered to issue the subpoena of the witness required of the attendant for the giving the testimony before, then it require the production of the books or paper, the records, within they perceive it before the board as may be material of the question lawfully before the board. Such subpoena should be served by the sheriff or any other officer for the authorized by the law of the sheriff of the prosecutor in the state. No person to execute from the attending or testifying or from producing books, paper, the records before the board or the court or from the obedience of the subpoena of the board or a court on the ground for the reason of the testimony, evidence of the documentary, otherwise required for the person may attempt to incriminate the person or subject of the person to the penalty of forfeiture provided with the noting the hearing. Herein shall be construed as requiring any person to produce the books and the paper, the record of the testify, the respond with the inquiry with the pertain with some of the question lawfully before such a board or court with the determination no natural person shall be the with the criminal prosecution and or to any of the penalty with the forfeiture of the account with any transaction matter or thing concerning with the project person that may be required of the testifier to provide the evidence documentary otherwise before the board of the court obedience to the subpoena provided that no person testifying shall exempt with the prosecution punishment of the perjury committed with the testifying. B. In the case of failure, the refusal of the part of the person to comply with the subpoena issued with the board, any of the members thereon, within case of the refusal of any of the witness testified with the board to answer to any matter regarding which the person may be lawfully interrogated with any circuit of the court within this state of the county where the board or the sitting on application from the board and mandatory time with the vacation of the issue of the attachment of such a person compelled with the person to comply with such subpoena to attend before the board produce such the documents given the testimony upon such matters are lawfully required in such a court to have the power to punish the entity for contempt as in case of disobedience of like subpoenas issued from such court or refusal to testify therein. The chair of any member of the board authorized to administer the oath of the witness with any false swearing shall constitute the perjury and shall be punished in accordance with the general criminal statute relating to perjury. That was 205. Powers, subpoenas, and swear witnesses. 2 and 6. Enforcement of the chapter. Supervisors charged with enforcing chapter regulation orders of the board. 207. Employment of the personnel of the oil and gas supervisor. Concurrence of the board shall have the authority shall supervise to the employee all necessary personnel to carry out this chapter. 2.8. Travel expense of the board members supervisors shall be reimbursed for the travel expense with the quorum with the comprehensive travel of regulation promptly given to the Department of Finance Administrator of the Proof of the Attorney General and the reporter. 209. Notice for the service owners of oil gas estates. 1. No later, A1. No later than filing application for the board with the permanent drilling prior to initiating the site of the preparation. Application shall give the non-certified mail the return receipt of the request for the applicant in the time of the drill of the property owner with the surface plan for the to be drilled to be effective by the surface disturbance. This is subdivision A3. The property owner is notified of the owner's section property owner's record and the property tax assessor of the office of the county with which where the property was located. 3. The notice will include the proposed location of the oil and gas well site of the proposed location, all of the new ingress, egress, location, all of the diversion, drilling pit for the dike, for the related truck, for the facilities, for the location, proposed storage sinks, and all of the surface disturbances. 4. The notice shall state with the property owner of the application within 15 working days from the date of the mailing. The discuss the location, surface disturbance with the connection with the drilling operation shall also state that if the property owner or applicant unable to resolve the difference regarding the location of the surface disturbance, either of the both may request the written hearing with the supervisor and supervisors designee with the notice shall provide with the name and address of the supervisors. B. With the applicant with the property owner give the notice for the under subsection A. With the child attempts to resolve the name of the difference between the regarding surface disturbances related to proposing drilling operation. 2. And the property owner is entitled with the notice of the applicant and may request 15 working days for the mailing of the notice required with subsection A. Supervisor of the supervisors designee conduct with the hearing with the request for the hearing under subsection Under the section shall be written, the supervisor by certified mail return with the receipt required for the purpose of the hearing shall be minimized the impact of the proposed drilling operation on the surface of the land. 3. The hearing shall be conducted within contest of the pursuant of the Uniform Administrative Procedure Act, the Title 4, Chapter 5, Part 3, shall be held before the hearing officer sitting alone. For the purpose of the hearing, the supervisor's designee shall be the hearing officer for the hearing shall be held within 10 working days of the receipt of the request for the hearing. The supervisor's designee shall be held within the calendar proposed oil gas well. The notice of the hearing shall be given to all persons entitled to the notice under subsection A of the applicant. 4. The hearing officer shall render a decision within 10 calendar days of the hearing. The decision shall be considered the final order of the subject to the further agency review pursuant to the statute 45315A. 1 for 5 for purpose for the subsection B of the working day, meaning all calendars, excluding Saturdays, Sundays, and legal holidays designated in statute 15.1.101. Notwithstanding any of the requirements permitted to the drill site for the permit may only issue the one if the applicant submit with the supervisor's statement. The supervisor's statement denied objection signed with all the property owners entitled to the notice in subsection A. 2. If the hearing is not requested provided in subsection B2, or 3. Upon the issuing of the final order pursuant to the subdivision B4. And that was 209, Notice of Surface Owners and Oil Gas Estates. Alright, that was Part 2, General Provisions of the Board.